Good morning, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today about the current situation here at St. Andrews. My name is Bill Masterson. My wife Julie and I have been coming here for a little less than 3 years, and we fell in love with this church the very first time we walked in the door, not only because of the warm reception from the congregation, but also the sermon Father David gave. I think we can all agree that we have a special priest here that delivers a message that we can understand, we enjoy, and is not threatening. In fact, you see, I grew up at the Church of Christ, and then as I became older, I attended Baptist churches until I met my wife Julie, who grew up Catholic. We thought the Episcopalian faith would be a good compromise, and it's been that so much more. So why am I here today? Last year, about this time, Father David gave his once-a-year speech on giving and the 10% that needs to go to the church. I need to tell you that is probably the one sermon of the year that I kind of tune out. It quite honestly can be uncomfortable, and depending on how that sermon is delivered, it can be frustrating. Not so with Father David. Father David talked about the fact that 10% is just not all financial. And it's how you have your relationship with God and what you're doing with God that is what is important. I left church that day feeling so refreshed and telling Julie that it felt so good that I left this particular sermon not feeling bad about the amount of money I gave or the lack thereof. Fast forward about 4 weeks later, and Senior Warden Pete Churchwell stands up and congratulates the congregation because we had achieved our goal, stewardship goal of $125,000. At first I thought, okay, we got a wrong number here. $125,000, it's, I know that we do not have endowments and other things like that. So the number seemed really low. So that's when I became curious, and I asked if I could look at our budget and what our financials are. That is the right of every individual here at the church, and I would encourage you to look at it. I think what you'll find is that we operate a very efficient operation. I was amazed to find that our total operating budget for this operation for St. Andrews is only $250,000 a year. That not only includes Father David's salary and the salaries of anyone else that would be support personnel, but the payroll taxes, insurance, electricity, water, lawn care, phones, office, computers, office supplies, postage, paper, repairs and maintenance, parish life, all the ministries that we support, and the monthly mortgage on this building, and everything that goes with that. Everything needed to allow us to worship and fellowship either in person or online. So if we have a budget of $250 and we achieve our goal, our stewardship goal of $125, how do you connect the dots? Well, we are a mission church, and so our diocese has been helped subsidizing us with a little over $100,000 a year. The rest is made up in plate offerings. Well, in 2019, the diocese informed us that they will start reducing that subsidy by 10% a year for the next 10 years until we become a fully self-sufficient church. That's okay. Father David and the vestry have been working very hard on a number of ideas to make us self-sufficient. One idea that has been gaining momentum is to house a daycare center here in the church during the week. There's a definite need in the community. It gives us an opportunity to introduce the moms and dads and children to our faith and possibly encourage them to become new members. And it also provides some badly needed healthy secondary income for St. Andrews. But how does that impact us right now? How do we get to a balanced budget this year? What we've done is we've taken a look at our reduction in income, and then we've looked at our controllable expenses to see how we can reduce those. And then we came up with what our basic total needs are for 2021 and developed a preliminary budget. By looking at that, what we've determined, if a family or group unit would consider increasing their annual give by $18.21 a week, we could achieve a balanced budget. Now, what is a family or group unit? That would be, Julie and I would be a group unit, a family unit. A mom, dad, 3 children, family of 5, that would be one group unit. And so that's how we based our $18.21 ask on that. And many of you know that I'm in the newspaper business and have been in the newspaper business all my life. And if you're a subscriber, or were a subscriber, you have probably been mad at your local newspaper for the changes they've had to make as far as reducing content or delivery. Then you stop subscribing or have threatened to do so. They did not make those changes because they were making a lot of money and they wanted to make more. The reason that they were forced to do that is because the advertising that subsidized the ability for them to be able to go out and cover those stories and bring you that information has dried up. And that's the only way that they could stay in business. Many newspapers across the country have gone out of business, and many more will. And what's happened in any case that I've been associated with, the community outcry has been, if I would have only known, I would have paid an extra $5 a week. I would have paid an extra $5 a month. Who's going to watch local government? Who's going to be the watchdog over government spending? Who's going to let us know about events? Who's going to let us know about deaths? So how does that impact our congregation? What is happening to newspapers is the exact same thing that can happen here at St. Andrews. We need to either raise more money or we need to reduce our expenses because the subsidization of the diocese will continue to decrease, and it costs more than $125,000 a year for all the services that I outlined earlier. We are not asking for 10% of everything. We're asking for your generous pledge as you're able. We are asking for enough support to fund what we have now. We do not want to stay a mission church. We do not want to reduce ourselves to a part-time priest. We do not want people saying, if I had only known, why didn't you tell me? Think about how important St. Andrews is to you and our community. Where do we gather in times of happiness? Where would we gather in times of sorrow? As Father David said last week, there will be an end. We just don't know when that'll happen. So here's what a pledge card looks like. We need these filled out. And the reason we need these filled out is this is how we develop our budget. Now, this by no means is an ironclad commitment. If your finances change, if your situation changes and you need to adjust that, just give us a shout. Let us know. No problem. We need that, again, to estimate what our operating budget will be for the year, and so we can adjust accordingly. We've done a few things we hope that'll make it easier for you to support the ministries of St. Andrews. We've changed banks to allow individuals the ease of auto draft and a once a month reduction if you prefer. We have a functioning donate now and pledge button on both our website and our Facebook page. And again, you can fill out this pledge card and mail it in, drop it by the church, or just put it in the offering plate anytime between now and December 20th. If you're an online viewer, please consider giving a one-time gift or annual or a weekly gift of $18.21. It will go a long way to help supporting our ministries here at St. Andrews. And please come join us in person when you feel it's safe and comfortable to do so. We have a lighthouse graphic here that we're going to keep track of our commitments, and we'll update and share our progress as each week up until the 20th of December. I want to thank you for allowing me to talk to you and inform you about our current status here at St. Andrews and what the future might look like because of the challenges we face with both COVID and other factors. And to let you know that whatever you do or whatever you're able to do is so much appreciated. We are so fortunate that God has allowed us to enjoy St. Andrews and live in a safe and wonderful community like Grove and this great nation. God bless.